During last lecture, we were discussing about the symmetry elements, and the first symmetry element, it is proper rotational axis. And I told you proper rotational axis means in a molecule, when we imagine a particular line or axis, and along with that line or axis, when molecule is rotated through certain angle, and if we get equivalent or identical structure, then we say that in that particular molecule there is a proper rotational axis. In this way, when after rotating molecule 3 times with angle 120 degree, when we get identical structure, then resulting molecule may contain C3 axis. It is present in phosphorus pentachloride. Similarly, C3 axis, it is present in iron carbonyl. So this can be C4, C5, C6 or C infinity. So these are the proper rotational axis, and detail about this we discussed in last lecture. Now there are two types of proper rotational axis. One is principal rotational axis or principal proper rotational axis, and secondary axis. So these are the two types. Now what is the difference between these two? The molecule, as I said, may contain more than one axis of rotation. For example, in a same molecule there may be C3 and C2 axis. Both the axes exist in the same molecule. Now the axis with highest order of rotation, that is the highest value of n, it is called as principal axis, which is normally or generally it is taken along the z axis. So the axis with highest order of rotation, it is called as principal axis. For example, in a molecule, if there is a C3 and C2, for C3 n is equal to 3, and therefore C3 will be the principal axis and C2 will be the secondary axis. The other remaining axis, which may be one or more than one, these are called as secondary axis or subsidiary axis. So in this way, in a same molecule there may be a more than one axis. If more than one axis exists, then one must be principal and other it is a secondary. Now it is very important to note that the secondary axis is most oftenly C2 axis. In most of the molecules, the secondary axis is C2. And the number of secondary axes present in a given molecule, it is equal to order of principal axis. Now what is the meaning of this? Suppose in a molecule there are two axes, one is C3 and other is C2. Now as I said, C3 axis, it is a principal rotational axis and C2 is a secondary axis. Now in that molecule, how many secondary axes will exist? Then number is 3, because for principal axis value of n is 3. It means in that particular molecule there will be 3 C2 axes, and therefore this last sentence is also very important. The number of secondary axes present in a molecule is equal to the order of principal axis. If order is 3, then there are 3 secondary axes. If order of principal axis is 4, then there will be 4 secondary axis. We'll take example. Now consider the boron trifluoride molecule. Again, boron undergoes sp2 hybridization. There are 3 fluorine atoms attached to this boron. Molecule has a planar symmetry, planar triangular molecule, and fluorine, boron, fluorine, this bond angle is 120 degree. Now in order to distinguish 3 fluorine atoms, these fluorine atoms are marked as A, B and C. As such, fluorine atoms are same, we can't distinguish, but in order to recognize these 3 different fluorine atoms, these are marked as A, B and C. This is the planar molecule. As I said, suppose this is the plane, and all the 4 atoms, that is 1 boron and 3 fluorine atoms, these are oriented along this same plane. Now this axis, which is right angle to this plane and passing through boron, it is a C3 axis. It is a C3 axis. Why C3 axis? Because when this molecule is rotated through 120 degree, we get a equivalent structure. For example, when molecule is rotated through 120 degree, now initially A was here, so it is shifted to the right side. So when molecule is rotated through 120 degree, we get equivalent structure. Again, if we rotate molecule through 120 degree, now this A will come here like this. So this is 120 degree rotation, second rotation. Now again, third time molecule is rotated, this A, FA will come to original position like this. So after 3 120 degree rotation, we get identical structure, and for this type of rotation, theta is equal to 120. So 360 divided by 120, it comes 3, and therefore this is the C3 axis. This is the principal axis. This is the proper rotational axis. Now in this molecule, in addition to this C3, one more axis is there. Now imagine this axis, which is passing through one boron and one fluorine, that is Fa. Now when molecule is rotated along this axis through angle 180 degree, then Fb will exchange with Fc, whereas position of boron and Fa, these will remain the same because these are lying along this axis. Only this Fb will take a position of Fc and Fc will take position of Fb. So after 180 degree rotation along this axis, we get a equivalent structure, and therefore this is the C2 axis, because theta is, for this rotation, theta, value of theta is 180 degree, and 360 divided by 180, that is equal to 2. So value of n is equal to 2, and therefore this must be the C2 axis. Now imagine another axis which is passing through boron and Fb. Along this axis, when molecule is again rotated through 180 degree, now there will be exchange between Fa and Fc. After 180 degree rotation, this Fa will come out of this plane, and after 180 degree rotation, it will take position of Fc. At the same time, during rotation, Fc will go below this plane, and after 180 degree rotation, it will take position of Fa. Resulting molecule will be the equivalent. So this is again second C2 axis. Similarly, this is the third C2 axis. Along this C2 axis, when molecule is rotated through 180 degree, now this time boron and Fc, their positions will remain same. At the same time, Fa will exchange with Fb, and after 180 degree rotation, these two atoms will exchange. At the same time, the orientation of molecular structure of molecule will remain the same, and therefore in boron trifluoride molecule, there is a C3 axis, which is the principal axis, and there are 3 C2 axes which are considered as a secondary axis. These are the secondary axis. Now consider another molecule, that is hydrogen molecule, which is linear molecule, and 2 hydrogen atoms joined to each other by means of covalent bond. Now the axis which is passing through 2 hydrogen atoms as well as through this bond, covalent bond, this is the C infinity axis, because for this rotation, theta, value of theta may be 0, and 360 divided by 0, that is infinity. So this is the infinity, C infinity axis. Now consider another axis which is right angle to this covalent bond. Along this axis, suppose molecule is rotated through 180 degree, then Ha will take position of Hb, and HB will take position of HA. Orientation will remain the same, but we get equivalent structure, and therefore this is C2 axis. C2 axis, which is a secondary axis. Now here principal axis is C infinity and secondary axis is C2. Now as per rule, as I said, in a molecule there are n number of secondary axes, and for principal axis value of n is infinity, and therefore there must be infinity number of C2 axis, and this is true. Now we considered one axis out of infinity. Now consider another axis. It may be a right angle to this initially considered C2 axis. Along this molecule, when rotated along this axis, when molecule is rotated through 180 degree, again there will be exchange between HA and HB. So in this way, through this point, infinite number of axes will pass which are right angle to C infinity axis, and all these C2 axis are the secondary axis. So in hydrogen molecule, not only hydrogen, in linear molecules like oxygen, hydrogen, fluorine, chlorine, there is a C infinity axis which is the principal axis, and C2 axis, infinity number of C2 axis, which are the secondary axis. Now second symmetry element, that is plane of symmetry, denoted by sigma. Now what is plane of symmetry? If in a molecule there exists a plane, imaginary plane, which bisect the molecule into two halves which are mirror images of each other, then the molecule is said to possess plane of symmetry. In a molecule, suppose one axis is one plane is imagined, and along that plane, when molecule is reflected, and after reflection we get mirror images of that molecule which are symmetrical, then we say in that particular molecule there exists plane of symmetry. So this definition is very important. That is, if in a molecule there exists a plane which bisect the molecule into two halves which are mirror images of each other, means which are equivalent or identical, then the molecule said to possess plane of symmetry. Always you remember that plane must pass through a molecule, and it is supposed that the plane is having both sides which are reflecting. Normally for a mirror one side is reflecting, but here you consider both sides of plane are reflecting. So there are three types of planes in a symmetrical molecule. Three types of planes may exist. First is the vertical plane. Actually this vertical plane, denoted by sigma v, normally it is passing through the principal axis. Cn, it is a principal axis. The plane which is passing through principal axis, that is the vertical plane. Detail about this we are going to discuss in forthcoming slide. Second type is horizontal plane, denoted by sigma h. Horizontal plane is normally perpendicular to the principal axis, that is Cn. So vertical plane, it is passing through principal axis. Horizontal plane is perpendicular to the principal axis. Then dihedral plane, denoted by sigma d. This plane is very important. It bisects molecule into two halves, no doubt, but at the same time it bisects the two successive or consecutive C2 axis, that is secondary axis. So this is called as dihedral plane. So detail about this we are going to discuss in next slide. One more plane is there which can be horizontal, vertical or dihedral, that is the molecular plane. Okay, so we'll discuss about all these plane in next slide.